Welcome back to the Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Going to spend some time talking to Jonathan Bentz. He's with a great company called Intrepid.com. They're contributors on the Price of Business. Jonathan, real quick, give us your elevator speech before you introduce us to your guest today.
Intrepid is a provider of co-location infrastructure and application hosting services to growing companies in a variety of industries. And we like to say that we help companies accelerate their technology from the ground to the cloud. And my guest today is Alan Falcon, and he is with a great company called Cumulus Global.
Alan, welcome to the program. Real quickly at the very beginning, I do want to get your website. Can you give that for us?
Sure. Our website is www.cumulusglobal.com. That's CUMULUS global.com, all one word.
Very good. And by the way, Intrepid can be reached at NETREPID.com. Your first question, Jonathan.
Well, you know, as the name of Cumulus Global may indicate, they are they're in the cloud space for cloud computing and cloud technology. And one of the things that I wanted to get some insights from Alan on was, you know, what are the reasons that you know, growing businesses today should accelerate their technology from the ground to the cloud?
Well, you know, that's a great question, and it's really changed over the last year or so. A year ago, people were looking at cloud computing simply because it could save them money. Today, most of the small and mid-sized businesses we work with are looking at cloud because they want better access to information, and they want their employees to be able to better collaborate with one another, with their customers, and with their vendors.
So how would you explain this paradigm shift, you know, the way of looking at it from purely a value proposition to what sounds like more of a strategic one?
Well, the big shift comes from people really seeing the value, particularly for small and mid-sized businesses, of moving to environments and services where they have access to the same capabilities as major corporations and their competitors without having to sink, you know, thousands of dollars in capital.
Yeah, very good, Jonathan.
Well, you know, so that talking about capital is a great lead into my next question, because one of the questions that I always like to get opinions on when it comes to the cloud is what types of solutions should you know, small and medium-sized businesses be most concerned with moving to the cloud. There's a lot of stuff that they can move. What do you see as being the most important kind of strategic piece that they should move first if they're trying to go to the cloud?
So from a strategic standpoint, the first thing to move to cloud is communications and collaboration. And this is your email services, file syncing and sharing services, and even your telephony services can be cloud-based and cloud-provided. In addition to secure access from anywhere, you have an internet connection, and having that global access, you also have a much better business continuity solution.
Yeah, very interesting. By the way, you mentioned some of the sizes businesses you work with. What would you call the sweet spot in terms of number of employees and even verticals?
So for us, our sweet spot, we have a couple of sweet spots. We work with very small businesses, usually those with regulatory requirements for information protection, so fewer than 20 employees, but subject to HIPAA or PCI or other compliance issues. Most of our customers have between 40 and about 280 employees. We tend to work really well with existing IT staff and even existing IT providers when we bring in cloud solutions.
Very good. Jonathan?
Well, you know, Alan is going to be doing a speaking engagement here this week in sunny San Diego at the Next Gen Cloud Conference, and you can learn a little bit more about that at nextgencloud.com, NEXGEN cloudcon.com. And I guess, you know, one of the last questions that I wanted to get, if Alan can kind of give a teaser for his upcoming presentation at NextGen, that'd be appreciated.
Sure thing. So the focus of my presentation is on building a cloud portfolio. Now, for solution providers like myself, that's really focused on which products and services and how do you combine them to provide solutions. If you think about it yourself as a small business owner, it's how do I pick the right mix of cloud products and services to really have a platform that will make my business more competitive. And so that's probably the best teaser I could give. It's really about leveraging the combination of cloud's products and services to build a solution.
Do you want to mention again, Jonathan Bentz is our Price of Business contributor, talking to Alan Falcon with Cumulus Global. You can learn more about Cumulus Global at cumulusglobal.com. Jonathan Bentz, you can learn more about him at decrepid.com. Why don't you wrap it up for us today, Jonathan?
Well, again, we're excited to have Alan on with us, and I guess if there's one last piece of advice that, or one last thing that Alan wants to give to business owners as they're kind of considering this transition, I'd open it up to him and kind of let the expert take the soapbox.
Okay, well, if there's one thing I want small business owners to realize is they don't need to be afraid of the cloud. It's actually, in most cases, more secure and more reliable than your in-house systems. It'll save you 30 to 70% per year on your IT operating expenses, and it can really enable you to be much more competitive and really give you a competitive advantage in your market.
Let me ask again, or ask you to mention again, rather, Jonathan, what was the website for that Next Gen conference?
Oh, it's Next Gen CloudCon, NEXGNCloudCon.com.
Sounds very good. I hope the listener checks that out, and thanks to both of you for being on our show today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here. Still some over there at usdatareview.com, and this is The Price of Business.